If you want to bullet journal in 2026, I'm going to share with you the best way to set up your journal. The first section is the year view. What I love about this page is that I write the key events of each week as the week finishes. I also tick it when it's done, and you can also add a score 1 to 5 or 1 to 10 just to see like how your weeks are going. And what it's really great is that you can see whether the year is going the way you want, you're doing things that you like. It's just a really good way to have like that high level view. Next would be the 2026 goals, and I like to do no more than 4 goals, and each one can have 1 or 2 key results. Basically, the goal is something more high level, like a vision of what you want to achieve, and the key result is something you can measure to say whether this has been achieved or not. Also added this year a tracker, and this is basically a way to just say every month, how are we progressing? Are we actually doing some progress or not against these key results or ultimately the goals? Then we have the highs and lows. I really like this because it's just a way to show key highlights of your year. Then we have the passwords, so you can just write which app it is for, what's your ID or username, what's your password. Next is a month view, and the way I like to use this section is to write down what I did that day after the day has happened, just a few keywords. I like the memory, and I like to like go back and see what my month looked like or each week looked like. Then we have a habit tracker. So in one page you'll find for 4 months, and the idea is that here you will write whichever habits you want to be tracking, and then you just put dots on each one of the days, depending on whether you did it or not. I also like to add this section here for the mood. So you just write either a happy face like this or sad, depending on what your mood was that day. And that is really helpful as well when you look back to see overall, am I being, happy, or what's my mood more in the long term. I really liked how they looked in 2025. The next section is a health tracker, and quarterly is enough for me. So you just write the date when you're feeling bad or you're having some symptoms, you write what it is about, and then here you just write the end date when it has finished. What I like about this is that sometimes I feel like, oh my god, I've been so sick this year, or like so many things are happening to me, but this also helps me put it into perspective. All right, the next section is the wheel of life. So the areas that I follow are career, finance, body and mind, family and friends, romantic love, personal growth, fun, and physical environment. But you can choose others. And it's an exercise, as I said, for every quarter. So I can show you what it looks like when it's done. So I give a score to each dimension, and then I also just write a few notes. And then another exercise that I like to do every quarter is the chakras. So there are 7 chakras, and we have what each chakra deals with and what is it usually blocked by. So I will ask myself, what am I blocked by? For example, with fear, with guilt, with shame, with grief, lies, illusions, or earthly attachments. I do this exercise at some point in the quarter to reflect, and after a few days, when I've also processed that, then I come to this other side and I tell myself, how can I deal with it? So these are basically the things that you achieve when your chakra is aligned. And then we just go into the daily journal, daily entries, and here there are no rules. You can just write whatever. Here I have some optional prompts that I liked using, especially at the beginning. For example, the pebble, what bothered me today, change, what can I improve, metta or prayer, what's today's wish, truth, what's today's lesson, and gratitude, what am I grateful for today. I hope this was helpful. Thank you for watching. And if you have any questions, you can DM me. I'm going to leave here my Instagram. And I'd love to hear your ideas also in the comments, or your reflections on how you're going to be journaling this 2026. Thank you.